Hello and welcome to Plague Talk Repeat. I'm Oliver and I'm joined by Niall, Alex, and Lewis.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
So it's time for our video game book club episode. Once a month, one of us chooses a game for the group to play and review, and this month the game is Celeste, chosen by yours truly. So a little bit about the game. Celeste released in January 2018 for pretty much every major platform all at the same time. It was developed and published by Maddie Makes Games and is a platforming game. So I chose Celeste because we've had some stinkers on the channel recently. I'm getting sick of
which
playing
games?
bad games, just all of them.
Okay.
Oftentimes we pick games that we haven't got around to playing ourselves yet, so whether they'll be good or not is always kind of like up in the air. I love Celeste. I play it roughly twice a year since it came out, and I wanted the rest of the guys to experience it for themselves. Also, we've reviewed Klonoa and Sonic Adventure 2 recently, so I feel like we really need to play a platformer that is good to show that it is a good genre and there are good games in it. So, let's do some opening statements. Niall, go on. Hit us with it.
Me?
You.
Okay. Yeah. So this game is significantly better than Astrobot. I'll say that. Off the bat.
Why Astro? What did Astro want to do?
'Cause it made me because like my biggest criticism, the reason why I didn't give it 100% like you sheeple did, is because I felt that if you played the game at the start, like hour 0 and hour 10, you'd play the game the exact same way. Like the way the movement mechanics were set up was that you didn't really learn anything new. Whilst with Celeste, I feel like it would be night and day difference from when you first picked up the controller to play Celeste and when you were battling through the last chapter. So, yeah, I'm actually going to go back into my How to Beat and reduce the Astrobot review score because of this. Because what
a bizarre thing to do.
what I did is I gave Celeste a 9 out of 10.
Right.
And I feel like Astrobot shouldn't be only like 0.5 away from that. I feel like it should be more. So, and Celeste can't be higher than a 9, I don't think. So, yeah, that's me.
Imagine a world where you went back and changed every single review score to match it up to
Yeah,
the latest game.
basically current review.
Just Astrobot.
Just Astrobot. So, sorry, what did you give Astrobot now?
An 8.5.
That's fucking wild. That's a wild thing to do. Lewis.
Yeah, Celeste. I gave a 10, not a 10. I think it's the best platformer ever made.
Better than Astrobot.
Best 2D platformer ever made.
Wow.
And that's not even an exaggeration. I'm talking all Mario games, everything. Like I genuinely believe it is the best 2D platformer ever made. And I think the game genuinely barely has any flaws. I think most of the issues and difficulty with the game don't come from the game's design itself. It just comes from the user having to get better. And you can't really fault the game for it because it gives you plenty of opportunities to actually improve and get better. And it doesn't do it in an annoying way. So I give Celeste a 10 out of 10. I think it's genuinely the best game in its genre. So I think it deserves that title of a 10 out of 10.
Wow, what we were.
Okay, grand. I'm going to go next because I think Alex is probably going to be the outlier. So I'll go next. So obviously I love Celeste. It looks great, it sounds great, and most importantly, the gameplay is just like kind of flawless. Even after playing the game so many times, I cannot come up with a flaw. I can't come up with an issue. I can't come up with anything that would knock the score down. It's even got like the one thing that platformers don't usually have, and that's like an engaging story. It's actually got like a story that tugs at the heartstrings, all that kind of stuff. The best part about the game is how it handles difficulty and how it handles it being challenging. It's the perfect mix of challenging and accessibility. I've talked about this multiple times. Whenever we've brought up Elden Ring or the Dark Souls series and stuff like that, that's challenging, but there is a massive punishment for failure, which it doesn't necessarily increase the difficulty, it just makes it more of a pain in the ass. Whereas Celeste, you are never losing more than 30 seconds progress at a time. It is absolutely, you can just keep throwing yourself at it again and again and again, and you will learn eventually, and you will get it. So yeah, it's every time you die, it's your fault. So for that reason, I give it a 10 out of 10. Good stuff. Alex.
So, I am the king of hating 2D platformers.
You are.
I find them quite difficult. Because in my head I'm a 3D platformer boy. I love them, but I did enjoy my time with Celeste.
Good shit.
So, I have given it an 8.5.
Oof.
Ooh.
Yeah. I can't in my mind give it higher than an 8.5 just because of the fact of how I have no desire to go back to this game. Like I don't even want to do the epilogue or anything because I feel like it was just a one and done experience. I enjoyed my time with it. I found it very difficult though. Like I died a lot.
Yeah.
And then there was a few things where I feel like I was being stupid. Like when I'll discuss it later on, but like there was a few instances where I was like, oh, I'm just being really, really stupid here. But other than that, I did enjoy it. Yeah.
Eight.
That's a 9.375.
On the old 1,000
Yeah.
point
That's-
scale. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's
It's got to be the highest.
one of the
right?
highest games.
It's got to be.
I think
Nah,
what was the
Astrobot must have been-
previous holder? But...
Yeah. No. I mean, talking about video game book clubs,
Yeah,
which Astrobot was not.
Oh yeah,
Astro-
it wasn't.
No.
Was it?
No.
Astrobot would have beaten it though. Anyway.
Yeah.
But we had 3 10s and an 8.5. Yeah. Well, an 8 now.
An eight now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to go back. Cool.
Fantastic. So yeah, Celeste. So what do we think of the actual like story? They say it's quite deep, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's pretty deep. I think a lot of people who this aims at will probably resonate with it quite a lot. One thing which I like though, which I'll talk about, it's like more system wise, is that you don't have to engage in the story all that much. It's only towards the end of the game where you are forced to watch cutscenes. I'm pretty sure you can just completely run past any NPC where you could interact with them. And even then, one thing which I really like is that you get fed like 2-3 lines at the start of the interaction, and then you get prompted to speak to them again, but you don't have to. And all those other interactions are purely just getting some extra information, which I quite like.
I mean, if you want to as well, you can just skip the entire cutscene. You can just pause the game
Yeah.
and skip cutscene. You can skip the whole thing.
Yeah, well, that's like that in most games, isn't it?
Not really. It's just because you said there's only some parts where you're forced to watch cutscenes, and I don't think there is a point where you technically have to watch anything.
Well,
if you really want it just for the raw gameplay, you can skip
But
everything.
that is like that with most games. Like I was playing Metaphor the other day, and I'll tell you something. There was one point where I lost a boss battle, and it said go back to this place, which I thought was 2 minutes ago. Turns out it was half an hour ago, and I was like, oh shit! So I had to skip a lot of cutscenes.
Yeah.
So I'll say that. If that's relevant.
Yeah. So I asked what do people think of the story, and we went into well, you can skip the cutscenes. That's grand. So, but yeah, no, I think it's a really good representation of anxiety and all that kind of stuff. Like even teaches you a breathing exercise.
It's one of the better ways I've seen it done that isn't necessarily. I don't want to say cringe, but like there's a lot of games that would attempt to do it, and it would just come across as a bit too on the nose and a bit cringe and just a bit much. I think the game tackles it well, especially the whole concept sort of being hidden. Oh, sorry, the whole idea of it being about anxiety is hidden within the game until about like halfway through, and then you'll pick up on it quite quickly. But I think they did it in a very good way, and I think the idea of like climbing the mountain in order to represent that is just a very, very cool way to do it. And like Oliver said, it tugs at the heartstrings a lot. Like, and like Niall said as well, the people who play this game, it definitely will resonate with them. As I'm sure they've had like an experience that they can probably relate to in their life, whether that is like extreme anxiety or whatever it is, or depression, just anything like that. I think it has like a very good message.
Do you think the climbing metaphor was done better in Celeste or just on?
What a question.
I really don't know, you know.
That's a banger. But yeah, I think for a game that didn't necessarily need a story, I think the story being attached to it is a very good thing, and I think it does it very well, which I can't say for a lot of other games, especially like I said 2D platformers, because a lot of the time they just don't have one, or they don't bother to have one, or if they do have one, it's just very minimal. So I do appreciate the effort that they actually put into the character writing and stuff for this game. But again, it wasn't really needed. The game would have still been as good as it was, even if you didn't have the story aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if
which-
you could skip the entire story and still have a good time.
Oh yeah, for sure. If for some reason you went into that, like, if you just really didn't care about the message, or if you're just not someone who reads dialogue in games, you could still thoroughly enjoy this game, I imagine. It's not gonna like ruin your experience or anything if you choose not to, which I think is a good thing. I think it's nice that if you do want to play it that way, you can, and you're not like what's the word?
Stuck.
Not stuck.
I weren't listening
Punished.
to the car.
Punished. You're not punished for doing it.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. When you want a story as deep as this and as like meaningful, it usually comes in the form of like say a walking simulator, or something like that, whereas the gameplay suffers to make way for the story, kind of thing. And in this case, the point I was making is just like hasn't happened here at all. Like you said, Lewis, you can play this game and it just be a challenging platform, and that's completely fine.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things to take away from it, which is a good thing.
One thing I do want to talk about, in regard this is you specifically, Lewis, because you platinum this, didn't you?
Yes.
You platinum. So what does that entail? Because I've never done it.
Yeah, so I mean, it isn't for the faint of heart, like at all. Like it is, if you want to commit to actually platinuming the game. Well, if you don't cheat anyway, you're gonna have to put in at least like 20 hours or so minimum. What it entails is obviously doing all of the main story up to chapter 8. As you know, in all of the levels, there is 3 different types of collectibles. There are the strawberries.
Yep.
There is a mixtape, I think, or a cassette tape, sorry. And there is a crystal heart. And there's only 1 crystal heart and 1 cassette in each level. And then there's like a certain amount of strawberries per level. So you have to collect all of those in every single level. And by collecting the crystal hearts and the cassette tapes, they both unlock different things. So collecting all the cassette tapes unlocks something called the B-side, which each chapter has its own B-side variant, where it's a much more challenging version of the original levels. And when I say much more challenging, I mean like considerably more challenging. Like it really tests everything you've learned for that chapter. Because now I brought it up before that like by the end of the game, the gameplay itself has completely evolved, and that changes with levels. And those B-side levels tend to take a lot from whatever mechanic was like heavily prevalent in those levels.
Yeah.
So you have all those B-sides to do. And then once you've done all the B-sides and you've collected all the crystal hearts, it then unlocks the C-sides, which is a slightly different variation of the B-side. So whereas the B-sides are...
You go to the beach.
Yes,
Hey.
exactly.
got
Whereas
you.
the B-sides are more... it's the same formula as you're still going to be playing for about 40 minutes, or 30 minutes, 40 minutes if you're on a good pace. And it's just a bunch of different rooms, much like the A side. The C side only consists of about 2 or 3 screens, but those 2 or 3 screens are longer, like wider, and there's a lot more difficult, like really, 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 like you have to perfect it. But by the result of like the change of only it being a couple screens, it's technically easier in some regards. It just depends how you tackle it. And then that's pretty much what gets you the platinum. But it's just one of those things where it's time consuming. The more you play the game, it's one of those things where obviously if you played the first eight chapters, you've mastered the mechanics quite well. So when you go into the B side, especially, it is not too bad. Especially if you are used to how it plays. The C side is where it gets really difficult because they start adding in mechanics that were never mentioned in the game at all, like brand new mechanics that were always technically there, but the game never brought it up. I think it's only the first time this happens in the B side for chapter 7, so I don't think you guys would have seen it. But there's this whole mechanic where when you jump up towards the corner of a block, if you hold jump when you're going past it, you will automatically bounce off of the wall.
Yeah.
And you have to start using that to get to these higher spots that you won't be able to reach otherwise. So it introduces a bunch of new mechanics into these extra missions as well, which I think is really cool. And it's the fact that they're always there in the game as well. Like if you happen to figure it out yourself, then you can do it, and it probably makes some of the levels a lot easier. But I find it really cool that they add in a bunch of mechanics even later on, even that deep into the game. And it sort of rewards you for like keeping playing because you start discovering things about the game that you didn't already know, which I think is really cool. But yeah, you're talking at a minimum like a 25, yeah, probably like 25 hours minimum if you're like pretty good at the game, and potentially upwards of like 40 if you're really struggling. Like I said, it's not a platinum that's like easy to do. Um, it's just one of those ones with enough time. I think anyone could do it if they really wanted to. Like if they really enjoyed the game and they really just wanted to like do everything it had to offer. I don't think it would be off the table for anyone. It would just require a lot of patience.
I think I'm going to do it one day. I'm going to do it one day. It's like I've always said, I'll go back and play like the hard mode on Cuphead and stuff like that one day.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. Like it's rewarding. Like at some points it was like just it was annoying, obviously dying to the same thing over and over again. But like it was always rewarding when you got past that one screen that you just couldn't get past. Because it really felt like it was because of you. Like you got good enough at this thing, you understood it perfectly to the point where it got done because of you. And I like stuff like that. I like when it's not by chance. Or just like a fluke. It was just you got good at the game, so you got rewarded for it, and yeah, it's just a really good experience. And there's a lot of that getting the platinum.
Did you use a guide to find out any of the collectibles or anything like that?
Yeah. I mean, that was going to be if we were to bring up negatives at all, that was literally the only thing I could come up with is that
things are hard to find.
I'd say not even hard to find. The only thing that was bad was the crystal hearts.
Yeah.
I think about 6 out of 8 or about 5 out of 8 of them kind of next to impossible to know how to actually get it unless you look it up.
Yeah.
And that's like the only flaw I could try and think of, because I mean I don't overly like when in some games like you could figure it out, I'm sure, but it's one of those things where it's like the hours it would have taken to figure out I just don't think would have been worth it. Like I don't think that would have been a fun experience whatsoever. So it becomes one of those things where you just search it up really quickly and then it's like, oh, okay, sorted.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to have been able to figure that stuff out myself, but like I said, I just don't think it would have been worth the effort you had to have put in, because it's like really cryptic riddles for a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like you either have to like move in a very specific way, or you have to go touch this thing first and then get to this spot without like touching the ground, just like random stuff like that, where it's just you wouldn't know it was even possible unless you looked it up. Which is not something I'm usually a fan of in games, because I think it can just be it can take the experience out of it a bit, when you frustrate the player so much that they don't want to figure it out.
Me, I didn't do any of them.
Yeah, I don't think I've got one platinum without looking for a guide for like.
Well, I was gonna say, I assume I was the only one who had the experience of getting all the collectibles, because I don't know what, because obviously there's the strawberries, which we all got different amounts.
I think I got 30 of them.
What
did I get? Yeah, I got like 2.
I was going like 4 apparently. Yeah,
that is wild, Alex. Honestly, you must have tried hard to avoid some of them.
No, I just didn't go for them.
Yeah,
I literally just I didn't see the point in getting them because I didn't see an end goal with them. Like there wasn't like you collect enough strawberries to like upgrade your jump or something. Like I didn't. Like
it says on a loading screen at one point, it says strawberries are literally just to impress your friends.
Oh no, yeah, I do.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't want to impress them. It should be good enough that I'm playing the game in the first place.
It tells you like in the second or third chapter, like legit, if you don't want to collect these, just don't. Like, you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to.
Which I think is nice. But we all got different amounts of strawberries. What did you get, Niall? Were you second place?
Yeah, I got 80 something. I think I got every single one which I saw.
Yeah.
On the screen, like the ones that I missed were just ones which I didn't find.
Yeah, there was a lot of breakable walls that you had to like go in to get, which were a bit annoying.
Yeah.
It was funny. There was like some rooms where I saw like the floating strawberry at the end, and I just turned around and went, and I was like, yeah, I can't. Well, I'm not wasting my time like trying to go for the strawberry.
There was quite a few I missed at the start. I didn't make the connection that dashing meant they flew away. Yeah,
I didn't realize that the first time I played as well.
I've played this a few times, and even I was thinking, oh, I just need to be fast. I need to get there faster. Yeah, because I've been watching the video as we've been speaking, and there's been one point where I did it, I think 10 times in a row, just boosting, trying to get there as fast as possible, and it disappearing. Yeah. So, what do we think of the way it looks, sounds?
I like the
Music's
pixel art.
fine.
Pixel art's great, isn't it? It's just a good time every time.
I love pixel art.
Mm.
It's like one of my favorite like aesthetics in
Yeah.
games, and then the sound effects as well were amazing. Music was really good.
Yeah,
It
this is one of the
fit the
soundtracks.
vibe.
This is one of the soundtracks that I listen to, like just in general. It is really good all the way through, I think.
Yeah, much like the Sonic Adventure 2 noise when you got to a checkpoint. I really liked when you collected a strawberry. That was like one of
Like,
my favorite parts.
Dink.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Any
Yeah,
Sonic game when you go for a checkpoint.
No, Sonic Adventure 2 in particular.
Mm.
That's
Oh
one
right,
of
I thought you
my
meant like the laser the Tails makes. The
no.
beep noise.
No, that's a bad noise. That's a terrible noise.
bad noise.
Yeah, the game had great sound design, like through and through. I mean, just like I said, it visually, just everything about it is just great. Like it feels like a game to me. It always weirds me out. This Celeste came out in 2018. It feels older.
Yeah.
It feels like this was like a prime indie game that should have come out during like the 2011, 2012 era
The
games.
Xbox Live Arcade kind of.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it is way more recent than I always remember it being. Like it's not that old in the grand scheme of things, which is just I don't know. It's odd.
No.
It's just such a good game that came out so recently.
At the same
Well,
time,
kind
it innovates a lot on those older indie
Oh,
games.
for sure. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
literally, it's a game where I think it's a testament to how well it's designed that Oliver likes it. Because Oliver is a little baby bitch when it comes to difficulty.
That is true. That is
And
true.
so this game is it takes all the pain points from those older, like Super Meat Boy, for example, takes all those pain points from those older indie platformers and just does away with them and makes it so that even the most hardest levels could be completed by the most Olivers of Olivers. So
Well, they make that especially possible because they do give you accessibility options, which
Yeah.
you can just make the game like you can complete a stage in like 3 minutes. You can literally, if you really want to, if for some reason you want to get this experience out of the game, you can turn on basically invincibility and infinite dashes, and you can just fly through the stage if you really wanted to. I don't know why you would, but
Speedrunning,
it's
I
there.
guess.
But
That sounds fun.
It's
Yeah.
I wish I
there
did
for
that.
people, which I think is nice. It's nice to have accessibility options, and they're quite detailed. You can change quite a lot of options and change a lot of things to make it how you want. And if you beat all the seasides, they give you even more options where you can make the game more difficult if you want.
Underwater.
So, I just think it's nice to have options like that. I think it's cool.
Right.
I heard there were D sides. Are there not D sides?
There's no D sides. C sides.
There's no D's nuts.
No.
Are you sure there's no D sides?
Oh wait, was that D's
I
nuts?
think it sounds like
It
a
wasn't.
these days.
That would have been a really good D's nuts because I didn't get that all. But I don't think it was.
Oh.
I think it was...
No, it's a mod. I got confused.
Alright, okay.
Right, sorry, just to go back to now calling me a little baby bitch there now, right? What I don't understand is, why would anyone be upset, right? If in Dark Souls, the checkpoint was at the beginning of the boss fight. Why would anyone be upset about that? Can someone explain it to me?
I don't think anybody would. I mean, did that in Elden Ring.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
though. The bonfires are more like forgiving in Elden Ring, but they are not at the boss fight by any stretch of the imagination. You
The
still
first one, what's he called? Like Magatha Christie or something? I can't remember his name.
Margit the Fellow Woman or something like that.
Yeah, that's right there.
That is right there, but otherwise, like, I'm sorry, even if it's just like a 3-minute walk, you know what I mean? That is still why. Why is that a thing? Why do I have to walk 3 minutes as punishment for not beating the boss? But like genuinely, if the Souls games had a checkpoint in front of the boss, I'd play them all without a fucking doubt. It's all about punishment for failure. I'm not being a little baby bitch. I'm just not willing to repeat myself over and over and over again.
I want you to think about what you did on your way back.
Yeah. I think that's what you need in life, Oliver. You just need time to think about what you've done.
No, I don't think that's the case at all. Alex, you said earlier that there were some things that made you feel stupid. What were you talking about?
So the third level, I think, the hotel.
Yeah.
The hotel manager where he's chasing you. I thought that was a boss arena.
Oh, Alex told me this and I laughed at him. He said he was playing that stage.
I was there for about 20 minutes, jumping on his head for about literally, because of the first area that you end up in before you go through the screen. It's sort of like a little arena. So I thought that was a boss arena, and I had to kill him. So I was there for about 20 minutes, literally just jumping on his head.
Yeah, I did call him dumb for that. When he told me that, I did say that is actually just
That is very
stupid.
silly goose.
I
Actually.
think there are only 2 bosses in this entire game, and one of them is
Yeah.
running away, and one of them is running towards you. Are always running.
Yeah.
You're always
Well,
changing screens.
There's the battling boss fight.
Yeah,
and,
battling and
Yeah,
Mr.
Ojiro.
Oshiro.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of enemies, I actually hate like there's one more. I was holding the Steam Deck, right? So you know, like when I've got it right here. Actually, I can demonstrate for you guys. You know,
Please
like when
do.
you're just that annoyed, that you're just like that in, you know,
Yeah.
just that like those little eye monsters that chased you.
Yeah.
I hated them.
They are my least favorite enemy in the game.
Because that's the thing, this game it's entirely built on just like sort of building that muscle memory through each part. Let's say you struggle with a level, like you get really good at the start and the middle and the end because it's all predictable because it's all stationary. But these enemies, because you have AI, they react differently depending on where you are. Like the eye monsters charge at you at a specific time, which means that every single attempt was different. I didn't like that.
But they also have a really quick recovery as well. You
Yeah.
feel like you have longer, but you really don't. They turn around almost instantly.
Yeah.
Sounds like Niall's
that's
being a little
taken.
baby bitch about these eye
Oh.
monsters.
When you when you had to take the fella in the crystal through thing, that was the darkest of times. I will
that
say
was too
though,
bad.
I enjoyed it.
yeah, I wasn't a big fan. I will say though about playing this on the Steam Deck, this was a bath goes cold type of game. Like when you just sat there in the bath playing the Steam Deck, and then you're like a bit chilly all of a sudden. You're like, what's going on? The bath's gone cold. You've been playing it so long.
You shouldn't play in the bath, man. You really
That's the
shouldn't.
first time I've heard that analogy.
Yeah, so the thing is, I used to play games in the bath on my backbone controller, connected to my phone, and I dropped it in the bath and it died.
Ah.
You don't want to drop your Steam Deck in the bath, do you? And it will happen. I promise you, it will happen.
Yeah, that's
eventually.
one way to ruin your life.
Well, it's doubly dangerous as well. 'Cause I have a cup of tea to my side, so you know anything could. A lot of liquids going on.
Oh, you could brew yourself. Don't.
I could brew myself.
Get brewed.
It's got brewed.
Right, grand. So, anything else for any more? Alex, you got anything more to say?
I don't think so. No, yeah, it was good.
It was good. Grand.
I won't play it again though.
Week.
That's my take, and I won't do the epilogue.
Are you gonna play Celeste 64?
Oh shit! That's one thing I wanted to talk about.
That pick 08.
Yeah,
Whatever it is.
yeah. So yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about. So the Celeste was originally built for a small emulator called Pico 8. That's an actual like emulator. It's like a VM kind of thing, I believe. And then it was created recreated as a full game for obviously modern consoles. But then they've created Celeste 2 on the Pico 8 system. But it's
they did.
Yeah, I haven't played it. I did download it, but I want to get it working on that little Game Boy thing that I've got, because otherwise you have to use keyboard controls, and I can't be asked for that. But it was weird. There was a completely different main character, and they had a grappling hook instead of a dash, which could work. But I'm just kind of hoping they don't put that into a big game. You know what I mean? I think I prefer the dash.
Did everyone beat Pico 8?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. I was just wondering.
Yeah. No, it was great. I was sad that the strawberries meant nothing though. Like I spent, I think, a long time collecting those strawberries.
Sure, it's just an Easter egg. It's just putting the original game in the game for you, I guess. Just throwing it in there. But I have not played Celeste 64. I do want to play that as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that wasn't Celeste 64. Is that just a mod or something, or is that its own little thing?
It was a game jam that someone made.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay.
I think it was the creators, right? Was it not?
Maybe I like that more.
Was it?
Is it 3D?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally like a.
It was made by Extremely OK Games.
Isn't
That's
that Maddie Mate's games though? As
I
well?
believe
That
it
is,
was,
yeah.
yes.
Oh, it came out a year ago.
Sheesh.
Niall, anything more to say?
The only other thing that we haven't covered really is we sort of have, haven't we? Is the balancing of the difficulty in the game. I
feel like I covered that extensively.
Yeah, well, I just thought it was a bit off sometimes. I don't know about you guys, but I'd be sitting there again in the bath chilling, and I'll go through a few easy screens, and all of a sudden there was like a proper hard one out of nowhere, and it'd be back to easy again. Did anybody else come across that at all?
Would you prefer it to be hard screen after hard screen
Yeah,
after hard screen after hard screen?
Yeah, like
No,
I
I
think it's just more throwing a little wrench into the mix, and then
No,
carrying on.
what I would prefer is I prefer it to be like a roller coaster. So it starts off like the chapter 1 easy, it goes up to like medium, then goes like easy medium, then up to medium hard, and then medium up to hard. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, difficult is subjective as well. It's kind of a hard thing to discuss that.
I also think the stages are short
think
enough for throwing in a really hard screen every now and again.
I think something that's subjective is probably the easiest thing to discuss out of everything, rather than an objective thing.
Yeah,
We can
well,
say
well,
that is
you're
objective, something,
yeah.
let's carry on.
But you're saying you said it as if it was a fact. You know what I mean? You say like this is the way it is. It's like there's loads of easy levels and then there's hard ones. But I personally cannot remember thinking that while I was playing it. Is the point I'm making?
Yeah, I mean, we have differing opinion on something that's subjective. That's a conversation. That I'll tell you that for nothing.
You're a prick. All right, okay. Yeah, Lewis.
A great game. Everyone play it. Anyone listening right now, all 42 here. That's how many views I'm predicting this is gonna get. Play Celeste if you haven't already, because it will change your life.
It's usually cheap.
If you don't like 2D platformers, this will probably be the one that you like. And if you don't like this, then you just hate them. Hate all of them.
I like 1 now.
You haven't played Mario Wonder yet. You need to play Mario Wonder.
That's true.
Change your life.
I do need to play it at some point one day.
Alright, grand. So just to remind you, on our 1,000-point scale, we gave it a 9.375. Grand. Shall we move on to 20 questions?
Yes.
All right. So it's Lewis picking. We'll go Niall asking the first question. Are you keeping track of the questions now? Yeah.
Yeah. Am I doing it? Am I asking it?
You can't ask it within the first 5 questions.
Okay, we can't. Right, yeah. So just to go on.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
I was just gonna give context on so on. Lewis keeps threatening to pick Crisis 2 as his game, and I'm fairly certain we'll all leave the podcast if he does.
It's not a threat.
It's a promise.
It's a promise.
It's a threat.
Okay.
Go on now.
Is it in the first person perspective?
No.
Okay, not Crisis.
Right, okay.
Not Crisis 2. Grand.
My next?
Yeah, go for it.
Is it on the PS2 generation?
Yes.
Oh,
shit.
Okay.
I know nothing of these games.
PS2 generation. He answered it really fast as well, so it could be like a PS2 exclusive or something like that.
Uncharted 2.
Maybe. Was it exclusive to the...
Not on the PS2.
Was it exclusive to the PlayStation consoles?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, fucking hell.
Okay, PS2 exclusive. This is like an Alex pick, this.
Yeah. No.
Oh, God. Is it a platformer? Hopefully not, because we had like 10.
No.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Not first person, remember?
Not first person.
I'm very excited.
Is it an action game?
It's played quite well. No.
Okay.
So not action. Not
Nope.
first person.
Not a platformer.
Nope.
It's not like a racing game or anything like that. It could be like a puzzle game, couldn't it? I suppose.
I'm thinking of all the weird PS2 games.
I'm trying to think
Lewis
of
has said in the past.
I'm trying to think of a third person like shooter on PS2, and I can't think of one, so I don't think it is one.
Oh, is it Conflict Desert Storm 2?
Oh, maybe.
Oh.
Is it a puzzle game, Bliss?
No.
No. Okay, that's 6.
I will say my other pick though that I'll probably save for a later time is a puzzle game. So.
Oh,
Okay.
Interesting.
Remember that, somebody.
Okay, I'll write it down.
In 5 months from now, yeah. That'd be good.
Is it a racing game?
Did we not ask that? No.
No, I didn't ask. I said it wasn't a racing
Oh no,
game.
you said it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you weren't Lewis. I wanted to ask.
That's true. It could be a racing game.
It could have been.
Is it a beat 'em up?
No.
Oh.
Fuck is this game?
What are those games where you go round and hacking and slashing? Hack and slasher.
A hack and slash.
Lewis loves the hacks on your slasher.
I do the hack and slash genre.
Yeah.
We could ask. Do you want me to ask that?
You can ask what you want. Your question's your own.
Do you play as a human?
Yes.
Do you play as a human? Okay.
Is it a hack singing slasher?
Is that your? Wait, is it even your turn? It is yours. Right?
Yeah.
It's not a hack slinging slasher, no.
Is it a hack and slasher? Just to confirm.
No,
You're
it's not a
being
hack
silly?
and slasher either. I understood what you were going for. It's
That's
neither.
10
Yeah.
questions.
Is it a Japanese developer?
Yes.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it's good stuff. This.
It's not going to be like the original. What's it called? What was Persona beforehand? Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah, but they're too long now.
You know, I'm not gonna play an SMT game now.
Okay, whose go is it?
It's mine.
It's Oliver.
Okay.
Like, I will say to everyone, like, this isn't a spoiler. It's not going to be anything. I chose this game purely out of I've wanted to play it for a long time, but also I wanted us to have a very short game. You can complete this game in a couple hours. I'm talking 2, 3.
That's free information.
Couple of
Just
hours
send
I'm
it
talking to.
What's a game that's like 2 hours long?
On the PlayStation 2, I don't fucking know. I don't think I'm likely to be able to guess this. And PS2 is not really my my thing. To play as a human, it's not a hack and slash. I want to get the genre down, but I can't think of what.
Well, you've got what 9 questions, 10.
Yeah.
9.
Well, yeah, 9. Well, 10 because we do 21 questions.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You can get it, maybe.
Yeah. Was it? Is it?
I will say, on a technicality thing, Oliver probably has the best chance of knowing this.
Oh.
Just based on what I know.
Oh. Okay. Oh, Jesus, that's sad.
I'm not saying he will, but I'm saying based on technicalities, he would be the most likely one to know of it, just based on what I know.
We haven't asked if it's horror.
Oh. A 2-hour horror game on the PlayStation 2. Look, yeah, I'll ask that. I'll steal that because I ain't got a clue. Is it a horror game?
Are you sure that's your question?
I'm less sure now. Well, go on.
No, he's trying to bluff you.
No, it's not.
It's not a horror game.
Oh.
I was thinking Fatal Frame.
I do want to play Fatal Frame games, to be fair, but...
I should have said that for me. I don't have anything now.
No.
So human, PS2, exclusive, Japanese. No, Shenmue was too long, wasn't it?
Shenmue's on the Dreamcast.
Shenmue's a Dreamcast game.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, he knows about Devil May Cry, but we've already asked if it's hack and slash, but it can't be Devil May Cry.
I don't have any PlayStation 2 games. I have a PlayStation 1 game. But got Tomb Raider. Right there.
Why do you have Tomb Raider?
Why is that so
on your desk?
rectangular?
I don't know. Is it fake?
Oh, you know it's a PS1 disc. Yeah,
But PS1 games
They're
are square.
square.
Huh?
That is square, isn't it?
Maybe it's just his camera.
It might be
Yeah,
his
I think his camera's
That was
distorted.
mad rectangular to me, though.
It's pretty square. It's got a manual in
It does kind of.
Yeah, but it could be distorted like my camera. Like
It does kind of look like a
curved.
DS cartridge. It is a
Yeah.
bit wide.
It's very good condition.
Yeah, I think the camera's just distorted.
Yeah, so does anybody have any ideas? Because I don't.
No, see, this is I originally thought it'd be Devil May Cry, but then we asked the hack sling and slasher thing. I don't. That's
Yeah, it's not hack. It's not a hack sling.
like. So let's think about Japanese developers who develop on PlayStation. Like it could be a Capcom game, you know.
Capcom.
Yeah.
What do we know about Capcom?
They do Resident Evil and all that much.
Do you do fighting games? We haven't asked if it's a fighting game.
It's a street. Yeah, but
Oh, we asked if it's a beat 'em up. That's
Yeah.
a fighting game, isn't it?
Well, no, that's not fighting. That's beat 'em up.
I don't think it's going to be a fighting game because not many of them had proper story modes. Especially
Yeah, but
then.
they might be short.
Yeah, but they need a story mode in order for it to be short.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I suppose
Yeah.
so. I get what you're saying. Like Tekken 4 had a story mode, and that was very short. But if he makes us play that, that's kind of sad because it's really poo.
Look at me, Tekken 4.
Ah.
It's such a random bit.
If we just keep talking, it will eventually break and it's all what it
Yeah.
is.
So it probably can't be. I just asked another genre then, don't I? Really?
There's many genres in the gaming world. And there's also many questions to ask, I suppose.
Oh, it could be like okay. There might be a short visual novel that exists somewhere. So I could ask that. Should I?
Yeah,
Should I
go
do
for it.
that? Is it a visual novel?
No.
Okay, right. I'm just glad it's not me anymore.
Yeah.
Is it in a series of games?
No.
Oh, damn.
Standalone game.
Yes.
I don't know the fuck you think.
I can give you something, but I don't want you. Obviously, as long as you don't search it up, because then it would give it away.
Don't give us any clues until the end. Don't give us any clues.
Okay.
We will get it eventually with clues. Let's just.
This is the 15th guess over.
It is. Does it have multiplayer?
I don't actually know. One sec. One of the modes described on the Wikipedia, it does have a multiplayer mode.
Right, but it's not known for it. Okay.
No.
Right, 5 more questions.
I just feel that's difficult because I feel like back in the PS2 day, every game had a multiplayer mode, like literally all of them.
Is it a stealth game?
No.
Ah, fuck.
Ah.
Thought we'd found like a Splinter or something then.
Has the game been re-released?
Yes. I will say it had it got re-released. It was there was a remake of the game.
A remake?
Shit, I hope it's not fucking Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh,
no, because that's 2 hours long.
And mine's also still in the plastic wrap, boys. It's never been taken out or refused. It's staying in there.
Shit. Well, was there another one of those games that came out on PlayStation 2?
Well, like the Eco and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
the fact that you giving me the name of them makes me think it's not those, so I'm just gonna stop thinking about those.
Yeah, because Eco and Shadow of the Colossus came out on PS2, and then Last Guardian came out on PS4, right?
Right.
Yep.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be a shooter, surely. What other third? Okay, we've already said action. We've already said platform. We've already said visual novel.
I mean, it could be a type of RPG, like a
2-hour-long RPG.
It could be a little cheeky TRPG, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, it's probably a shooter.
I'm really excited to play this. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. We could ask if it's a shooter, but
I've wanted to play it for a while, ever since I played a different game.
Yeah, we think we're gonna go beyond 21 questions there. I think we genuinely we don't have much of a chance at the moment, do we? No one's got any ideas. Is it a shoot? Let me rephrase that. Do you shoot guns in this game?
No.
What the fuck is this?
is it a... Okay, I'm just going to ask, just in case. Is it a RPG in the umbrella of RPGs?
No.
No.
I have no idea. Is this going to be like another Tulip type game this where it hasn't got a fucking genre?
That's a genre. That's a very distinct genre.
We haven't done simulation yet.
Like it has the whole premise of the game is based around a very specific genre, yeah.
It's going to be a fucking fighting game.
Is it a fighting game, Lewis?
Is that your question?
Yeah.
No.
Alright, we've got one more guess. One more. I've got absolutely nothing at all. Exclusive PlayStation 2 game that has been remastered, that is not fighting, not platforming, not shooting, but it is third person. In the vein of, like, again, all I can think of me head is Tulip, like that kind of one of those nonsense games. But
it is a nonsense game for sure.
It's a nonsense game. For fuck's sake! I just don't. I keep getting stuck on the fact that you said you think that I might know it.
I've heard I said that I think you have the best chance of knowing it, and when I say why, you'll be like, okay, fair. Okay. Doesn't mean you will know it, but you have the best chance of knowing it.
Okay. I've got nothing, boys. Anyone got anything before we start getting clues?
No, it wouldn't be an immersive sim, wouldn't it? I can't think of anything that's 2 hours that isn't a shooter or a beat.
That's what's throwing me off. It's like 2 hours, 3 hours long.
Like even Ape Escape's like classed as like an action game, surely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will say I was
I've played Ape Escape.
I was very close to choosing Ape Escape through.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Maybe you picked Ape Escape too.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
No, it's a standalone game,
Oh,
Oliver.
yeah, of course it is.
Standalone.
Yeah, no, I've got nothing.
All right, give us a clue, Lewis. Give us one.
I will give you the genre.
Please
Okay.
do.
It's a rhythm game.
Oh.
On PlayStation 2.
Do you hate Alex?
That's part of a franchise.
Does everyone hate me
It's
this
not
year?
part of a franchise. Yeah.
Well, no, Alex.
Trying
the
to expand
reason
your horizons.
Yeah, first of all, I chose it because the whole point of Video Game Book Club is playing games that we wouldn't usually play,
Yeah.
which I think is good because it will make you play. But also, it is very short, so even if you hate it, it's a couple of hours. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Persona 5 Dancing.
I do not know one rhythm game on PS2 at all.
Can I tell you a rhythm game that you do know?
I know the Taiko no Drum
Apart from
thing.
Guitar Hero.
There's a rhythm game called Elite Beat Agents.
I do.
And the company that made that also made this game.
Yeah, no, I don't know. not a clue. Anyone got anything? No.
No, nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Wait,
You'd give
No
up.
idea.
Unless Rhythm Heaven was on DS, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So it can't be that. The other rhythm game I can think of is Electroplankton. That was also on DS. I've got nothing.
The only other rhythm game I can think of is Parappa the Rapper, but that was on PS1, and there's also a second one.
That was PS1.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, got nothing.
Nothing.
It's over.
Go on, Lewis.
Yeah, I can't think of
The
anything.
game we played, which is renowned as a classic PS2 game, and apparently one of the best rhythm games ever made, according to most people, is a Guitaru Man.
Oh, fuck's sake! I know.
Guitaru Man.
Guitaru Man.
Guitaru Man.
It's renowned as one of the best rhythm games of the generation and of all time. It's made by the same people who made Elite Beat Agents, who moved on to make such games as Lips. Apparently, it's got a super like anime aesthetic. It's really stupid. The story's really funny. And the music is apparently just bangers all the way through. And apparently it's a very good time.
So apologies to what people watching. The aspect ratio of the video obviously didn't match the window at all.
It's 4:3.
Yeah, okay, that's I like rhythm games. I don't like anime, but I like rhythm games, so it should be.
You threw me off the loop. I know about Guitaru Man. I was thinking of games that I wouldn't have known.
No. I can't believe you thought that I'd know it. I can't believe you thought that I'd even think that game existed.
I said the only one who has technically a relation to it is you, because you played Elite Beat Agents.
Yeah, okay.
God, this game looks like I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
It looks really fun.
That trailer didn't show one bit of gameplay at all that I could see. Right, okay, grand. Well, we know what it'll be. That will be up at the end of January.
February.
Yeah, February, Celeste.
Celeste is January. Celeste is January. I need to get a date sorted. Yeah, end of February. And once again, reminder: we gave Celeste a 9.375. 75. Until next time, we shall see you later.
Bye.
Bye.